So, Hugh, I guess we'll kick off. It's 9 a.m. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate that you taking the time out. We've got about five people with questions for you.
Okay.
And um, I guess just a quick thank you very much to Edwin for organizing all of this. He's actually put in a lot of effort. And Hugh, thank you very much for taking the time to be on here with us for an hour. Um, for everyone that doesn't know, Hugh was the first one to bring 2 second lean into China with absolutely no resources and no translated material. And he basically started from scratch. So he then moved back to the US, and I believe, went from 0 to 300 properties under management in a real estate business. And you're making regular acquisitions of companies. So I just wanted to give a brief introduction there, but Hugh, we'd love to hear from you more about what it is, and then we'll jump into our first speaker with a question, which would be Travis after that.
Yeah. So I have some slides. I don't know if slides is a strong word for it. I've got Five Horsemen was I'm coming out with a book, Why I Failed at Lean, and it's basically all the things that happened. But the big thing is we went in China. Um, no no tools. I don't know who in this room has done business in China. Anybody done business in China at all? Yeah. So you go in, no Facebook, no YouTube, no Gmail, no ability to share, no communications that aren't tracked by the government, no 2 second lean. Again, no YouTube. So you can't share the videos that all of us are posting. And the short answer is most people fail at 2 second lean or lean because they make excuses instead of making it happen. Um, and it's very, very simple and straightforward. I have a recipe. I think I'm the best in the world at buying companies and converting them to lean because we have to do it every 2 months by the nature of our business. A lot of people weed themselves out because they're not the right people for the team. And so there's a very, very straightforward set. There's nothing fancy, but a lot of people just don't give it the time or they'll mess with things. So that's kind of where we're at. And then, of course, we applied that to our self personally as far as our businesses here. And we are fully decentralized. So we've got about 5 companies. It is not near as difficult in person as it is with decentralized companies. So if you are a centralized company and you have folks coming into the office or a shop floor, then it's way easier to get going. So anyways, I'm prepared to answer any questions. I can share a little bit of the high level. I can make that 40 minutes. I can make it 5 minutes. It's up to you guys. So,
Well, the theme of this particular meeting is the morning meeting. So we're actually on the second chapter of Ryan's book, Lean Made Simple.
okay.
And basically, we wanted to pick your brain because we know that you're an expert at morning meetings and actually connecting a lot of different companies together for the morning meeting. So we really wanted to theme our questions around that. So the first one that's got a question for you would be Travis. So Travis, we just want to hear a little bit about you and your question.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. And yeah, good to see you again, Hugh.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so, well, just very briefly, so we got, as you know, here a small wholesale nursery in New Zealand, in Invercargill, and very small team. We only got 4 staff plus myself, and we've had a bit of a rocky road on the lean journey. We started out pretty hot on it 18 months ago, and we're doing the morning meetings and we're doing 3-year sessions and improvement sessions and all that. And essentially our sales weren't keeping up, and sales steadily declined basically to the end of last year. And it got to the point where we said, do we carry on spending an hour each day with morning meetings and tidying things up, or do we actually get in front of customers and have guys producing product that we can sell?
Yeah.
So yeah, which was and we had to drop our staff numbers as well. So It got pretty
from
challenging.
3 people to less, from 4 people to less.
Yeah, it's four people to 2 people plus myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was pretty challenging. And to be honest, quite demoralizing as well. So yeah, a bit of a challenge. But as we are getting back out of that sort of situation now, a couple of questions I had around morning meetings. One was the time of day. So when we were running them with 4 people, so 2 of those people were school mums, so they start at 9 a.m. After they drop their kids to school, and we would do 15 minutes morning meeting. We would cover various different things, watch improvement videos, whatever. Then we'd do 45 minutes of 3S and improvements, and by that time it'd be morning break time, another 20 minutes. So by the time they actually got started into doing a proper day's work, if you like, it was 20 past 10. And even the guys that did start at 8 a.m., they kind of got an hour at the best done before we started the meeting, and that kind of interrupted their day and whatever. So just a bit interested in your feedback around that, time of day, and do you wait for people that start a bit later, or do you just get cracking in the morning?
So there's a few questions you have in there, and I'm just going to go off on what my opinion is, because almost always people have something similar. And so it was exhausting. We did the whole like office workers come in at 9 and then shop people come in at 6 and let's run 2 meetings. And then it was a complete nightmare. So for the most part, we found, most of us have the same problems, and it's very easy to get on track. Do we want to or not? I can share a few things, but the first thing I want to say is, if I can share my screen, if you guys are cool with that. I know a lot of people have questions. I want to talk maybe 10 minutes, and maybe in that 10-minute time, it'll answer some questions or hopefully spur new questions for you guys. My presentation this year at the Global Lean Summit was baking delicious cookies. And it's basically a lot of the things that people have, but the theme of the place was basically baking cookies. What's your recipe for success? And a lot of people, especially Michael at Yellow Tools, and a lot of people are like, oh, there's no right way to do lean. There's no right way to do lean. If you do exactly what we do, you're going to blow up your company. It's not going to be successful. So take it and do your own thing. And I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I'm going to be very direct. And that's that if you stray too far outside the lines, right? We all have different equipment. We have different recipes, right? We use ounces here for some reason because they think people can divide by 16ths. I prefer to use grams with a scale to be more precise. But if you stray too far outside the lines of what a cookie is, you're not making cookies anymore. You might be making a cake, maybe crepes, maybe a quesadilla. I don't know, but it's not cookies. And if you want to make cookies, then you should probably follow some sort of recipe that gets you in the ballpark. So I think I have the recipe for that. I'll share that today. There are 5 reasons why most companies don't have a good implementation. And a lot of that revolves around the morning meeting. And I'll butt heads and tell Ryan, I think I told Ryan to his face, that even with 2-second lean, even with CD Matters, I think they're going to be better pressed to do morning meeting first. But before I get into that, a lot of people, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and the intention of make it your own, but without the actual step-by-step, hey, do this, and give it X amount of time before you start messing with stuff. You called it out. I love that you called this out earlier, Travis, is culture versus business. So you said something, you said, we have an hour a day, but our sales fell. Those are 2 different things. So your sales falling is running the business. Most of the reason why most companies fail is I think they have the wrong focus. So I think the focus should be similar to this: 70% focus on the culture, 30% on the business. What does that mean? That sounds crazy. 30% on the business means that's everything. That's That's what you sell. That's what you do. That's your sales campaign. That is your metapixel here. That's not metapixel. So this is your sales campaign where you are actually seeing if you are making, ads. Is all of that pulling together? That's your, one piece flow. Everything is on the business side. And the reason most of us fail, especially when you're really small, Travis, the smallest team I ever ran lean was 2 people. It was me and another person. And you better believe we did morning meeting every day. I presented one day, they presented the next day. In 3 months, that person was an extremely exceptional person at lean and a great critical thinker. But we are usually frustrated because we try to focus on stuff and then we'll implement something, right? We will we'll solve a problem, and then we'll think it's in place, and then we'll step away, and maybe that goes for 2 weeks, and then that problem implodes again, right? And then you're right back. I'm sure that's never happened to anybody in this room right now. No, sure that's never happened. Anyways, why? It's because the culture we want is we want a culture of ownership-minded team members that have critical thinking skills. So going back to the baking delicious cookies, there's the 5 horsemen. I'm just gonna jump to the last page because it says it here. If you have the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, if one horseman shows up, they could end the world. Okay, so the 5 horsemen of lean is if one of these exists in your company or is not correct. I'm not saying it is impossible to have a lean culture take root, but I am saying almost every single company that has had an extremely rough time has violated this right here. Okay, so one is, are you in charge? So if you're not in charge, there's only one person in the world I've ever seen be able to make it happen, and that is Alex Ramirez, and you can implement anything below you. So are you in charge, and to include hiring and firing and setting schedules? The chore chart. Do you have a chore chart? Does it rotate? And are you a part of that? What that means is we have a chore chart. We have people that clean the bathrooms. We have people that clean the mowers, doing 3S time. I am in that group. And also I would just show up on site and I'll have my team put me to work in their department. Hey, no. It's 3S time. You tell me what to do. And then I'm doing, I don't want to say menial tasks. That's to set the example. And really what happens is, I'm sure none of you guys, who has middle managers? Anybody have middle managers? Cool. This is a message directly at your middle management that if you, the owner or leader, is in charge and you're willing to scrub a toilet, that there is no choice, that is the expectation. Everybody, no one's above that, right? It blew the Chinese mind. They're like, oh my gosh, boss scrubbing the toilet. I've never seen that. Every day, morning meeting versus 3S time. 3S first, followed by morning meeting, always. There is a reason for that. I'm going to click into this slide real quick. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then that happens every day. So the morning meeting happens every single day. Not, oh, I have an idea, I'm going to outsmart the system. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to do morning meeting. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to do 3S time. Gosh, I'm so smart. Look, I just saved my time. There is a reason that exists every day. Anybody know dopamine and serotonin? So when you make a decision, dopamine, you're going to go, that is, hey, I'm going to go kill a deer. And maybe it's weeks of stalking a deer. And, this is our ancestors. And you have a hunt. And then you made the decision. Dopamine was released for us to actually carry out the task. That's what motivates us to get it done. Once we kill the deer, serotonin is released because we've accomplished our goal. And that leaves us wanting more dopamine. So that is a dopamine serotonin loop. A bad version of this loop is a shopping addiction, right? You want that 66 car, and then you study about it. You made the decision you want it. You save up for it. You know everything about it. All right, you buy it. Now you feel empty, right? It's just a car now. Oh, maybe I really wanted the 67 Corvette. Okay, so now the whole cycle starts over again. The reason you have the dopamine serotonin loop is because these are chemicals that are extremely addicting. I think it's heroin is the same chemical receptor in your brain as dopamine. And that's one of the reasons why it's so addicting. So you can provide that to your workforce by getting them addicted to working for you. If every morning you say, you have to do some kind of work, you have to do something. You're not allowed to do work that provides value to the customer. You can only make your job easier. They then decide to do a tiny task, like label something, even though it's teeny tiny. or put Velcro on a remote. And then, hey, this is what I did. And then the dopamine serotonin loop occurs. That's the very first thing when they walk through their doors that happens. Then it's a morning meeting. And then this leads us to the next point. Morning meeting happens every day, but they are doing the videos, right? I'll put my money where my mouth is. Here is our videos right here. Here's our 3S chat. They shoot the videos before and after and edit it together at all times. They shoot the videos and then they do their morning meeting presentation and they make the template. And then they take the template, and this is Dakota. This was her very first meeting today. She's never led a morning meeting before. And they shoot the videos, they shoot the content, they upload everything. So now they are doing all the work. And then they are leading the meeting, right? There's the 8-way story. There's the 6 office way story. And the reason why is because the learning pyramid retention is 90% when you teach. So who's having a lukewarm struggle with morning meetings and getting lean to take root? Okay. Who's leading the morning meeting every day? Okay. Is anyone having a struggle, but other people are leading the morning meeting? Okay, good. That's good because that's a new problem to solve. So the big thing is, are they leading the morning meeting and are they creating Are they creating the videos, uploading the content, making the presentation, and then leading the morning meeting? That happens, and that is a process that happens every day. If somebody doesn't show up that day, then we are actually going to be doing the meeting of shame. Or if people get sick, all kinds of stuff, we still have the time safeguarded. Someone will hop in. Like, let's say it was my morning meeting today. Someone will pop in. Now, why does all this matter? You're having your team come up with ideas. They are choosing to come up with an idea. They are then attempting to capture that and teach it, which goes to the learning pyramid, where they're doing 90% retention. They then are attempting to articulate that to their peers while using a set of, maybe to us, easy, PowerPoint, whatever, but to the team, maybe some have never trained on that. Other people are leading the morning meetings. Often we are still creating the morning meeting. We still have stuff like we have flexibility. We need flexibility. So at the end, we have dashboard announcements. This is where we get into our company time. This is where it deviates. The rest of the time is dedicated to the team. Then the last bit is, are you training the trainer to train the trainer to train the trainer? So this one is, if I train Edwin, I learned it because of the learning pyramid. Okay. Now Edwin needs to train a department head. Edwin trains the department head. That's the first time Edwin learned. So my job is to observe Edwin train the department head. But now the department head doesn't know. Now my job is to watch Edwin watch the department head train the next guy. And now the department head knows. So you need to train at least 4 deep. Okay. So it gets to the bottom of the list. Who's that guy train? They train laterally, or you have them train you, right? If you ever want to know something, like if I need to spot check something, I'm not going to check with Edwin. I'm going to go to 2 people down below Edwin. And I'm going to be like, yo, tell me this process. Can you teach it to me? And they're going to teach me it. And if they know it, great. Then I know we're good. If they don't know it, I'm going to say, that's awesome. Thanks so much. Can you tell me who taught you? And you go up 1 level. Then you quiz that person. If they know it, then you know that that's where the information broke. This happens every single day. This happens every single day throughout the company in the morning routine. And so the secret weapon really is, are they doing it where you train the trainer to train the trainer to train the trainer to train the trainer? Also, there should be a max of 3 people. So I should never have more than 3 direct reports to me. And then 3 to 5 is really where it's at. Definitely no more than 5, but 3 is a very, very strong number. So hopefully that is a very fast. I threw a lot at you guys. Now to answer your question, Travis, 1, I would unify the morning meeting. I'd say, if it weren't those people specifically, I'd just say, hey, start day is here at this time. And then who can make it can make it. For us, there was a fight back and forth. We said, hey, starting 1 month from now, this is when the new start time is. Everyone be there or find another place that will pay you to not do what they request. And everybody showed up. And that was pretty straightforward. It was really more my fear of ruffling feathers than me just doing it. And then always in the morning, always in the morning. Again, you're starting the day out. You're starting every day with morning meeting. That's the first thing they do. They do a morning meeting where they're learning, and then they start their workday. So they've gotten a dopamine serotonin hit. You're getting your workforce chemically addicted to working for you. You're leaving them with a serotonin hit, and then they start their workday. And then if you're not really starting the workday till 10:30, you compress it. You can definitely make it faster. Probably a lot of not a lot of value at a time. Then just because I thought I would have it easy with business when I started my own businesses. Just because I'm good at operations does not mean I'm good at running a business. And so sales and marketing is a different thing. There's sales campaigns. You've got a lot to learn. A lot of us have a lot to learn outside of just that. Those are different things. Absolutely, you should still grab that because your salespeople can still need to accomplish, overcome obstacles and sell, right? And then there's also commission structures we can look at and all kinds of stuff like that. Anyways, I apologize. That is a very brief throwing stuff at you guys, but every day doing it. I think a lot of people either not doing it every day, or the biggest offender is they're leading the meeting all the time instead of letting the team lead, which robs them of the 90%, which is a double-edged sword. If you teach something and you teach it wrong, you've retained 90% of that. So you need to be there to catch it and be like, actually, you need to retrain that. So in our morning routine, we basically just have that. So this is our actual morning routine. There's like a 30-second to 5-minute morning meeting at 7:30. That is like, hey guys, our 3S focus of the week is going to be strong visual controls, right? Make sure you have strong visual controls. Who needs help with that? Nobody needs help? Okay, go. Then they do 3S. They are coming up with ideas. They're doing the 3S. It's making their job easier. Okay. Then we have the 25-minute wide company meeting, morning meeting. That's led by them. And then we have the 5-minute mins for the day. So at the very end of our dashboard announcements, we actually go to the dashboard. Here's our daily checklist. What was done this week, what wasn't, and the mins for the day. So here's our dashboard. Today, all of us, whoever's on our team for this department, will flag their 3 things they're going to do for the day. By the end of the day, they'll accomplish those 3 things. If they don't, it'll pop up on the morning meeting dashboard list as uncompleted. So we basically have, that's what happens right here. And so it goes small team meeting, then company-wide, they do it, then they do the morning meeting, and then it goes back down. So we're not wasting everybody's time because no one likes to be in a meeting where they're like, well, production's talking about something that has nothing to do with us. We wasted everybody for 40 minutes. That prevents that. Morning meetings about just growing and developing them. So, all right. Sorry, that was the very short version of a very long and painful journey. So
that's very helpful. Thanks, Hugh. I think, biggest takeaway is doing the 3S first. It's definitely getting that the right way around.
And every day. Do both every day.
Okay, awesome. So the next question, we want to hear from Sean. Sean, we just want to hear a little bit about you, where you're at, and what your question is for Hugh. Cheers.
All right, so we're just starting our lean journey. Very, very early days. About to go from a company where we do staircases, timber staircases, and we have other branches that manufacture our stairs, get sent to us interstate, and we just solely do the installs on site. So a very small factory team at the moment, solely dispatching to site. We're about to go into manufacture ourselves, 3 times the size premises, all the machinery, everything else to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you, Hugh, is having a majority install teams, which are purely on site, what do we do with the morning meetings? Have you come across that?
Absolutely.
I really don't want the guys on site to be zooming in every morning. what's the options?
Yeah, so we have it depends on how it shakes out. We went and we bought a tablet or a computer with a cell signal, and then one of our people, they remote in every time, so they zoom in if they're going to be decentralized, because that is the Gemba. It's more difficult to train. You're probably going to have a lot faster adoption with your actual production team. We still have them. We have them go through the process. And then immediately after, like if I did morning meeting today, then I've got 20 minutes to make my presentation for tomorrow. And then we pay them to do that during that time frame. We also have them do it, the techs do it inside their truck. So I had a company that was a pest control company. Very similar. They don't do any production at all, but every day they have 3 or 4 vans and pickups go to a different site. And you never know where they're going to be at because that's their site. Another thing, I have a construction company. I don't have it, but I'm working with a construction company. They have 2 teams and they go to different sites on different days. And so I think they have like Thursdays is their dojo day. On Thursdays, they're always at their main facility and they're doing 3S there. And then that keeps them grounded. But then when they're offsite, they still, without missing a beat, they still do the other thing. Other thing too is for 3S time, right? Let me share real quick. 3S time, their office is the Gemba, or their Gemba is where they're at, or if they're installing, it's probably their install van with their tools. And so the sweep, sort, and standardize should occur on their Gemba, which is on site. It is a manufacturing, it's production because you guys are installing the staircase. So they should be really dialing in their, I'm assuming they have a van with everything. They've got a trailer they're towing behind, and so they can 3S it, pull it all out, sort, standardize. If you have, 2 techs, if you have 50 techs, everyone has the same equipment. You're doing dojo time. If you find out, hey, our staircase installers, we got team 15 is able to do 50 a day or whatever. They're going to install in this amount of time. You need to go find out what's going on in that team and you need to film it. And then you need to do cross training, which can also take place during the 3S time. So you can say, hey guys, for our techs on site, and we're working with Juice in the UK right now over that as well. They have to hit a number or else they'll lose money. Every day they have to service X amount of batteries or else. And so we were like, okay, well, do you have anyone who's really good? Yes, this guy's really good. Cool. What's that guy doing that everyone else is doing? Or is he just fast? If he's fast, that doesn't mean he's good. Is his work of quality, right? If he's doubling the speed that everybody else is, that may not be a good thing. And so then they're doing the cross training. So for us, our options are Zoom. We do this meeting right here. They still lead the meeting, and they still get all of that training. If you have the ability to bring them in 1 day a week, just for a van clean out or whatever it is, for the dojo time or extra training, I try to massage it to where whoever is in that week, maybe they present from the office, if that's available. If it's not, it's fine. There's multiple companies that are doing it where they're zooming in with a cell phone connection. You'll make more money with them having critical thinking skills because you're training it every day and they're working out every day and practicing every day, from them just not making a single mistake. Like if they don't have to go and then ruin the raw material and you have to order another one from wherever, or emergency run to, the lumber yard to grab something, or whatever it may be, just them not making one defect will probably pay for a month worth or like 6 months worth of all of your techs being out there. So people don't want to think that, but if we're always fighting fires, usually it's because of disorganization, which the morning routine is a tool for that.
I think it took me a long time, based like what you just said, Hugh, it took me a long time to understand and realize that it's not necessarily about getting stuck in and doing, but it's more about the culture building. Maybe we won't see fast progress straight away, but in time, once we have taken time out to train everyone, then many hands make light work. So yeah, I think.
Yeah. There's here, I'm going to show this real quick because it kind of goes with what we were saying. Anyone here seen the Yucatan video about the hands, heads, hearts?
Your video?
Yeah. That I put out a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Okay. So hands at 6 months. Can you see this here? Going back to the daily routine thing, to Travis's point to answer that question and why it's critical for Sean as well and everybody is you're like, we got to take the time to train everyone. No, we have the time safeguarded. Use that time that's allotted and don't let it creep. You have to safeguard the rest of your 7 hours of the workday to do that. But I normally start here is if you want a 6-pack, what should you do? 6-pack abs.
You train
Phil?
every day.
You train every day.
How often? Every day. If you go every day, is it going to be better or worse? I know there's diminishing returns and people are going to say you should only work out 4 days or whatever. If you go 3-5 times a week, is it going to be better or worse than 3 times a week?
Much better.
Much better. Okay. All right. So the more work you put in, the more likely you are to succeed. Nobody is surprised when they get a 6-pack. They work their butt off to get a 6-pack. They're not like, oh my gosh, I got a 6-pack. This is crazy. Oh, I ate right, walked right. Phil's getting up every morning. He's going for a walk every day. Why? Because he's putting in the work every day. And over long periods of time, you see results. So for the Yucatan, hands, heads, hearts, everyone here is like, not everyone here, but a lot of people, they'll start messing with the morning routine and they'll be like, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be my morning meeting and 3S time. Cool. What you've said is I'm going to cut 60% of my learning out for my team. So just make it efficient and fast if you can and do it all the time. So if we know that to go to the gym every single day is important, how often are we going to the gym for our team? If you've already done the hard part, which is get morning meeting off the ground, that's huge. If you're doing it every day already, that's even better. If you're doing 3S in morning meeting, that's even better. If you're doing 3S morning meeting and they're cycling through and making the content, then you probably got it. But that's the big thing is a lot of people when they're doing the daily routine, this is when you do the training. If you want your team to know something, hey guys, the new standard is this. If you do this, it violates this law, you have them train it. Hey guys, remember this law went into effect January 1st, and this means this thing. That means for my job, I can no longer do this. I have to use this thing. Right now they're training it, which gets them over to the 90%. So yeah, taking the time, the routine is the secret weapon, but it's so simple that people just try to mess with it. So 3 months or after 1 month, they will have compliance, even if they don't want to comply. After 3 months, they'll get it. And after 6 months to 9 months, they'll usually have internalized it, even if they don't want to, which is a critical thing. So even if you have a team that has pushback and they don't want to learn it, if they do it for 6 months, they'll over time will actually internalize whatever the thing is that you want them to know or do. They'll genuinely believe it in their heart, even if they don't want to.
So Hugh, sorry, can I just step in here?
Yeah.
Because like Sean, I think Sean, you don't even have morning meetings going on at this time. You're still doing the research and that? You're doing the learning?
Yeah, we have not even really started anything at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm putting the feelers out to a few of our staff and they all seem keen. Adam, I brought up to New Macy's factory and he loved what he saw and got a little bit excited about it. I got a few staff members I've strategically picked who I know, whether they be OCD or whether they be people I could see would help spread the news and help spread the good word. Starting slow and just put the feelers out.
So this is the other thing, like, because Paul's also told me, be careful in the beginning because culture is not ready for long meetings. And I don't know how you feel about this, Hugh, but you can go, there's 2 strategies the way I see it. One is if you're the owner and you have control, you don't have that fear. It's like, okay, great. Let's put that hour time of learning with that structure. Or it's a different approach. Okay, let's be a little bit sensitive. Let's start like morning meetings, just 5 minutes of getting that routine of, okay, guys, 5 minutes, 3S, 5 minutes. Let's just catch up and quick meet. And then you build it from there. Is that right? Hugh, would you like say, those are the 2 kind of options or?
Yeah, it's a good point. So I'm going to say it depends. So let's say Sean had morning meetings operational and he hires someone new. They're going to show up and it's just going to be the way they've always done it. After anyone does anything for 2 weeks, congratulations, guys. That's just the way we've always done it. Usually when you do a whole bunch of small changes, people bitch and moan continuously. Okay, so if you make a small change and they bitch and moan for 2 weeks, and then you change it again, and then they bitch and moan for 2 weeks, and then so I'm more of the rip off the Band-Aid, but not just like suddenly doing it. I'll start with the managers. If you're about to get it going, there is a way to do it that's very good. So Vern, you start with your managers, you let them know the why. You always let everybody know the why. At a town hall, you bring everyone together, pre-morning meeting, let everybody know the why, the intent. And you start immediately from day one with the managers kind of leading, if you have that. And then you can start small. You can be like 15 minutes and 15 minutes. So it's a total of a half hour, but always let everybody know we will be moving to an hour by X date if you want to do that. But that gives them like the 1 month time frame to kind of get used to it. Once it's on a routine, you can expand to the full hour. What's less bad, less good is when you have the long meeting, like Travis was talking about, maybe there's a lot of dead time, dead space, not a lot of engagement. That's okay. You just move it along. And that's something you got to train through. And good thing you train every day, which is 261 days a year. So if you train all the time, you're going to be able to rapidly overcome some of that. That's a great point. I would let everybody know what's going to happen and then do it if you have the control, which was one of the reasons why being in charge was so high up on the list before.
I think one of our biggest challenges are we do predominantly residential work. Now, the scaffold comes out in a stairwell. There is no joiner then between ground floor and first floor for any trades other than us. So for our tradesmen on site installing the stairs, their number one goal for the day is to make sure that at the end of that day, that staircase is either completed or at minimal, walkable for other trades the next day. Because the scaffold ladders are gone, the scaffold stairs are gone. They have to make it accessible for other trades the next day.
Yeah.
So,
and you're doing finished houses or you're doing new construction, it sounds like.
New construction majority.
Got it. Good.
So, yeah, that will be our biggest challenge for the trades on site to say, you need this done by the end of the day, but you want me to stop for 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the start of the day. And I know over time it will improve what they do, but it's that convincing and the just getting them across the line. That'll be the test.
So there's a few things. It'll be a little bit more. If you send me some videos, we can help out with a lot. And we can dial it in. So last week there's a very similar company in Houston. They just started manufacturing their parts, but the large majority of their company is techs that go out and install. They're not gutters, but they're gutter lights essentially. So it looks nice, and that's what they're building. They're always somewhere. They never know what's going on. Well, we just work with them. And on the best day ever, they had 3 manufacturers, and those 3 manufacturers took the time from the best that they ever did in the history of their company was 86 units a day. And at the end of the 1 hour video Zoom back and forth, we got them to one person could do 164 a day doing less work. So 3 people could do 468 a day. So they had far more time. Just so you guys are aware, because you have to overcome this as an objection, is on a manual labor job, the most labor you get out of your team, right? 8-hour day is 3.5 hours for a non-2-second lean company, right? Immediately you've got lunch. So that's 7 hours. And then you've got, all the other stuff, but most of their day is spent interacting with material and not actually doing value-added work, which is a very specific definition. So if you can train them and they can practice every day, they'll be able to uncover hours more work. So that 3.5 hours they do give you is going to be way, way more. Now, if it's a desk position and you're predominantly behind, a computer, it's 2 hours for your employees of value-added work. Most of the time I have to wait on Sally to send an email to Bob to then get another piece of information to approve the thing. And it's chasing people around all the time. So yeah, that's a very good point, but yes, I'm saying rip off the Band-Aid. Unfortunately, take that hour or half-hour time. you will gain it back almost immediately. In fact, the first day that you guys 3S your truck, or do you have a truck or a van or a trailer?
Yeah, we have utes and vans.
Okay. So the first day that you say, all right, we're 3Sing, everybody take everything out of the truck or the van. Okay. Now only put back in what you use every day. If you use it once a week, it goes to the very back of the van. If you use it every day, it's at the very front of the van. The very first time that ever happens, oh, and then if you don't use it, you're like, oh, this happens every once in a while, leave that at the shop. The very first time that happens, your guys are going to have an unreasonable amount of increase in time. I know this. I'm in construction. We got $44 million in the last 5 years. My job is to teach and train my contractor how to build things from a 2-second lean perspective, so that can make him more money and then save me. ER or Chris?
Yeah, fully understood. Fully.
I know it's scary.
I've just got a point to add there, if I could, please, Hugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. You want people to stop, to do some meeting and all that sort of stuff, and then it'll delay you getting your staircase up by the end of the day. What we've had trouble with is running out of cordless batteries. Every time we go to our trailer, because we do stuff on site, we'd have a flat battery and have to come back to the workshop and get a battery. So that's where this lean and eliminating waste comes into it. If you train your people to make sure that everything's all ready to go with 3S, you won't have those delays. So that's why these meetings and 3S and lean is important, is so then you can have everything ready to go, so there's no delays. So those delays could stop you from having the stairs up, not the morning meetings, if you know what I mean. Just my thoughts, that's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, 100%. My contractor this week, I was helping him, and he was like, they set cabinets down for a kitchen. And I was like, I just happened to be there. I was like, there's supposed to be a water line there. Well, someone had moved the water line out of the way by tucking it back into the wall, and they had set the cabinet. So then he, on his own labor, pulled the cabinet, got the water line back out, and reset it. Well, there were 3 people on site, and 2 people knew about it. One person didn't know about it, and that's the guy who did the job. That exact example that Chris was just talking about, like the battery, he was like, this, no joke, happens 10 times a day. I was like, it's approximately an hour a day. I'm like, okay, well, that's an hour a day times 6 dudes times 5 days a week. You're forcing your customer to pay this money because of that. And if you just didn't have that kind of a defect, then it wouldn't do that. So yeah, the other thing you can say is, I'll pay you to do it. Let's just try it for a little bit. That always works for me. Let's just try it. We can go back to the other way if it doesn't work. But we're going to try it for at least a month. You need to have some kind of time frame in there. By the time a month comes by, well, that's twice 2 weeks. Well, now it's just the way we've always done it.
So Caleb, does that answer your questions, or did you have a similar question or something else?
Okay, so yeah, originally my question was very similar to Travis's about start times, etc., because I do have a staggered start time for different people. And so, yeah, I've got people starting at 6. Our morning meeting runs 9:15 pretty much every day, except for Wednesday, which is good, which is 10:30 because we have a bigger meeting on a Wednesday. So introducing myself, Hugh, I'm Caleb. I run a company called Vic Beam. We manufacture laminated timber structural beams, and we've been doing that for 20 years. So, Sean, if you want someone to make your stair treads, just give us a buzz. But no, after listening to you, I really like your way you start your morning up with you. And what I would like some more information on is the intent which you set the guys up in that first 5 minutes. What sort of ideas do you have for getting for those intent moments? Because I'd like to take some notes and go, give some guys direction for those first 30 minutes.
Every company, when they first go, they could probably spend 6 months just cleaning, like actually cleaning, which is not the purpose of sweep. But I'll just go over some of these, because a lot of the time you'll be shocked to know a lot of people don't have these, and you can find all these on my website too, under 3S. So This is my cheat sheet that we have. It's a graphic. You guys can find it and download. It's a big old PDF. So Sweep, Sort, and Standardize has a tool for it. So here's the visual, the strong visual control we have. We did sweep. We had an inspector here. You know, Sherlock Holmes is looking for drips. This person is cleaning. Then we have these guys with shotguns, and they're sweeping like you sweep, like a SWAT team sweeps, looking for a problem to eliminate that problem. And then you've got a person that's got around a machine that's broken. The reason we have that is because so many people under the sweep get so sucked into cleaning, and it's not really the point. So sweep's definition is this: very simple, remove all clutter. So if I'm doing this specific drawer that you guys just can't see, but I thought you could, or this shelf, don't do something big. You're like, guys, we're just doing sweep this week. Just sweep this shelf. And so this is why your team leads, why morning meeting, the morning routine is with the team, not with the company, is as a company, you set the intent. Hey, everyone, we're doing sweep this week, blah, blah, blah. Your team lead can be like, oh, I'm in charge, like to Sean's point, I'm the crew, I'm the team lead, I'm the foreman in charge of this job. I hate this van. I hate this shelf in the van. Guys, today we're getting rid of everything in this shelf. Everyone take it out. Then you wipe it all down. Then you go to sort. Well, sort does not mean organized. It is organized most used to least used. And the rule of thumb is if you use it every day, it should be on your work desk. If you're a foreman, it should be on your tool belt. And so it wasn't standardized by this. All my guys, electricians, all the electricians have the same tools, and they have all the same stuff on their person that they use every single day. You know what else they had on their tool belt? A bunch of stuff they never use. And were lugging it around, and it was getting in their way. All right, so you're sorting most used to least used. If you use it once a week, then it can be in a drawer that's kind of near the front. If you use it less than once a week, it can be way over in the closet. Nobody cares. Or if you have seasonal things like, hey, this specific thing sets up from this, you can do that. So we took this to such an extreme that we put wheels on our punch press, and we had a bunch of punch presses, and we basically would reconfigure a line every single day, every single part for every single day. We pause, take 15 minutes and reconfigure a line, and we would sort away anything that wasn't used for that specific part or that specific product we were making. Then standardize. Hey, we're all having the same. What's this? What's missing here?
Hammer.
A hammer. How do you know? Edwin, have you ever been to that site?
No, because of the outline, guys in front.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Maybe it's a blue hammer from the blue department because they're so good at their stuff, right? So then, of course, you do the standardize. Standardizing eliminates variation. Variation causes confusion. So one of the examples is Velcro on things. We have a standard. The Velcro is, hey guys, the 3S focus of the week is Velcro. The male side goes on the thing. The female side goes on the movable object. All right. No one will do anything. If there's something else that's bugging you, do it. Otherwise, you're doing Velcro this week. Hey, we're doing strong visual controls. Make sure we have strong visual controls. And we're going to be doing GPS tape and dots. Okay. You're going to do that today. And the blue department's the blue department. So everyone's going to put blue dots on all the tools that go in the blue cart. And then purple department can put purple dots on the purple cart, and so on and so forth. And basically what you do, Caleb, is whatever is annoying that you hate. And that is what you make your 3S focus.
Sorry, are these slides that you've got, are they readily available too on your website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry, my website's in the middle of a revamp right now. It's HughCarnahan.com. Normally there's one that says free resources, but just HughCarnahan.com/resources. There it is. Yeah. And it'll take you have to sign up for a community page, but we have all of them in one spot. So as we update them, everyone can download them. So they're under SBR resources here. So we've got new graphics, 3S in the learning pyramid, our Friday learn and lean templates. We've got the meeting of shame in case someone misses a meeting. We've got our 6 office wastes. We have our morning meeting template. So everybody can have those. And as we update stuff, it'll automatically update here. So that's why we did a community. instead of a download they have to continuously go to. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
We had the Yokoton that was done. But yeah, you can have all those, and basically hands, heads, hearts. So hands is you just have to do it. You just have to spend a month doing it, of doing strong visual control and or Velcro on things. Or we were in China, so we had one that was no handwritten labels. Everyone must be a printed label, no handwritten labels, which was a big one. We did that for weeks. No unlabeled shelves. Every shelf must have a label. Nothing in drawers unless there's Kaizen foam in the drawer. So we basically, any lean thing we felt the team needed to learn and know, we then spent our morning meeting routine, we would make it that. And if we didn't like the outcome, we just recycle it. Hey guys, last week it was just sweep, not 3S, just sweep. Okay, we're doing sweep again. Hey, sweep is really about, if you go back to the 3S'ing, it's about finding the source of the problem, not actually that. So if every day you're sweeping around a machine, around a punch press, every day you're cleaning it, I'm glad you're cleaning it. You shouldn't be cleaning it. You should be finding out why the mess continuously happens every day, right? And so here's a little bit of instructions on, how to perform an effective sweep, how to perform an effective sort. And then at the very bottom, we have a cheat sheet where everything's on one page. So yeah, short answer, whatever bugs you, which is a polite way to say. That's a little bit more polite than I would normally say it. But if it's upsetting and continuously happening, integrate it into your morning routine and make them teach it.
Okay, we got 5 minutes left. Phil, did we want to go to you quickly?
Yeah, I better make it quick then. Hey, so my question, sorry for dropping in and out. So we service dental and medical equipment, and I have another company, and I've got my business partner sitting beside me, and that's why the background's cutting in and out, because it's thinking there's only one of us here. So my question is, we have some contractors and part-time staff that only work sometimes.
Yeah.
How do we involve them in the journey so they sort of, in some respects, get left behind, and then they're on a different page from where the rest of the team are?
That's a tough call. That's a tough call. So it's going to come down to your business operations and if you can bring them in house. So one thing I said, I kind of gave up. I roughly gave up on if they don't work for us, then we're just going to do the best we can. Anything we can control, we make sure it's dialed in. And then we turn around and we make it as simple as we possibly can for them to be compliant. Now you can say, in order for you to be compliant, you will only get paid if you follow it like this. And so you're doing some pokey on certain things. Like if I install stairs, but I don't clean up, I'm not paying you until you go clean up. Yes, it's Friday at 4 p.m. Yes, it's Friday at 7 p.m. You're not getting paid until you clean up your site, because that was what was agreed upon. You make your expectations crystal clear with specific deliverables. And then if you can, me personally in the situation, we try to bring on only trusted vendors that we continuously use and cross-train them. And then we do at least a weekly light touch base, not a morning meeting or anything like that, where we do that. Now, this is from a very US-based perspective, where this is another company that does not work for us. Now, if they're temps and they come in and they work for us on occasion, we just integrate them into the morning meeting. That's it. They just do everything. I run the numbers. It's cheaper to pay them to have the half hour and pay them that extra hour from them not screwing something up because they're not aware and training and developing them. I've done it a whole bunch of times. If they're temp labor or whatever it is, or they're part-timers, I try to get them in the morning meeting and just have them, go through. If they're a subcontractor and they're not actually employed, then we really dial everything in, try to make it as simple as possible.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Hugh, for being on here with us. We really appreciate your passion and all of the free resources that are on your site as well. We're definitely going to utilize them. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Feel free to reach out, or, I'm often wrong. I'm wrong all the time. So I just know what people get the crap kicked out of them. I got the crap kicked out of me until I learned what tended to work. And so that's what I'm writing the books about. And normally I can diagnose stuff pretty quick because it happened to me and everybody the same way. So
No, it's fantastic.
Awesome.
All right. Well, so next meeting is on the 23rd of October, and Phil is going to be the team leader for that one. And that's going to be on the topic of creating a lean leaders group with Alex Ramirez. So we'll look forward to that.
Great.
And we've got 2 people with put their name down for questions. He's going to need about 3 more. So reach out to Phil and organize that in advance. But yeah, thank you very much, Hugh, and thank you very much, everyone.